LCS today.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
fucking dope. TSM all the way.
Oh god.
John, you're still a TSM stan?
I'm a TSM beard, son. I'm never backing up from that loyalty.
Dude, Vlad is back in the meta, dude.
He is?
Vlad is sick right now, yeah.
Vlad is
Oh,
super
shit.
strong.
Vlad's back in the meta. Let's
Hey,
fucking
Yeah.
as
fuck this
I
shit.
crack my fingers, like, oh, time to reinstall.
Coming back out,
Coming out of
re-downloading the game.
retirement for like the 8th time in my career. Looking through my big old Google Doc. Oh man,
Nice.
we're not out of
Yeah.
this mansion yet, folks.
Yeah.
We've been here for
Oh,
so
boy.
long.
I know.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex about it, and I was like, yeah, like a part of me, like, my part of me wants to like move on and like, all right, we just need to finish this, but like, there's still like some cool shit to be had, you know? So
Ooh.
Nah, dog. We got the rest of our lives to finish this campaign.
true.
Give me the shit. Give me the shit. You shit.
Yeah.
Give me the
that
shit.
is always
I
the
want,
plan.
I want the shit that was shat.
That's
by you.
always been my promise as DM is that I will give you the shit that I've shat.
What more could you really ask for?
All right. Where to begin?
Yeah, where do we leave off?
This is gonna be a
So-
full refresher session.
No, we were tiny and we off these fucking creepy dudes that came in. There was a guy with a bloody red cap and like some shade monster,
Yep.
maybe
there's
another shade monster.
a variety of shade monsters and a red cap that y'all just were able to slay. But one of them was a ghost that possessed. I was like trying to think of the word. Possessed Mirmo. And y'all had to beat her into unconsciousness in order to get it to
Oh.
leave her body.
Mhm.
So that was like the second to last thing you did before entering this next room. And I guess something that y'all would have seen in that room while y'all are kind of like dealing with Mirmo is... So in the middle of the room, there was a teddy bear left, which, if y'all remember correctly, there was a little girl holding a teddy bear at the start of that encounter who dropped it, and she disappeared, and the teddy bear turned into the red cap, and then all the ghosts appeared, and y'all had to fight them. And then after all that's over, and after Mirmo has been beaten into unconsciousness, y'all notice, and then I think the ghost like got out of her body, and y'all like attacked it, and then it like faded away. I don't think y'all are able to bring it down, but y'all notice there's a teddy bear in the center of the room, in the center of the carpet, that y'all could have done something with before you enter the next room if you wanted to.
And there's a fireplace, and is there one exit to the room or two?
There was the entrance and then one exit. Yeah, a fireplace.
Okay.
There was no other exit.
Gotcha. All right.
So, do y'all leave the teddy bear there, or
Let's get the rolls going. I want to do a... What check do I want to do?
rolls going?
I guess Arcana? Check on it? Maybe
So what are
Insight?
you
I
doing?
don't
You're
know.
just like eyeing it to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's like... If we're going to get possessed or anything. If we're going to get fucked up if we touch it.
Okay, you can roll that Arcana check.
Bloop.
Do I still have infinite
You still
disadvantage?
have disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay, just
That's
want to make
it.
sure.
Your character sheet remembers. So yeah, y'all had some various effects, and then who has Vance on them? We need to clear that up before I.
Oh shit! Fucking Vance, man.
Yeah,
I
forgot
thought
about
it
that.
was me.
Did,
I'm
did,
pretty sure.
did Sirocco give him the Quilly?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
Sirocco
don't
gave
have
it up. Sirocco gave
We
it up. for
fucking
sure.
left off with like.
I don't have him because I
We're
wanted
gonna
to
kill him or not?
Sirocco gave it up to Quilly or Malos. I guess it was Quilly. So you have him backpacked, front packed onto you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, with that Arcana check, to you it looks like a normal teddy bear. There's no magic emanating off of it. Its eyes aren't red. Its eyes turned red right before it turned into this creature. It just looks like the room has effectively returned to normal, how it appeared before. Whereas there was a playpen in the corner, there's a fireplace, just like with a normal fire going, a piano. It actually looked whenever you walked in, a little bit too pristine, considering like the level of disarray this house had fallen into, and now it's returned to that after all the baddies have disappeared, and this teddy bear is part of that relative normalcy. You don't detect any arcane magics coming off of it.
Okay.
Y'all boys want to take this? I'll put it in my bag.
Put it in your knapsack.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, why not?
Alright. I'll put the bear in my satchel / whatever I'm wearing. Forget.
Okay, so you go and pick it up, and you notice
Oh fuck, I'm dead.
you notice the skin on your fingers starts to curl back, and you feel immense pain.
Oh,
The
God.
teddy bear is incredibly
Christ.
soft. It's incredibly soft, and it's very warm to the touch, but not too warm. It's almost like it's comfortably warm, and your hands and like your body, just in general, with like the level of like tension and violence you've endured in the hours you've been in this mansion so far, like your hands are a little bit cold, and as soon as you touch this teddy bear, it like warms them up. And
I feel
feels good.
comforted by this bear.
It feels good, and yeah, you could almost say you feel comforted.
I'm gonna keep that to myself for now and just put it in my bag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot the bear is just canonically Tibbers.
I cannot confirm or deny that. And actually, you can roll me a D100.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
So you feel like as soon as like whenever you touch this and you're like comforted, the warmth, the softness, for a moment you almost feel like you were able to shake off this thing that has like kind of been plaguing your mental and physical reflexes, to where you kind of have to think twice, and you're like always at a, you might say, disadvantage when you're having to
Okay.
like react. But then the coldness of that feeling, and when it originally, that vision that you saw of those deathlocks, you killed that deathlock in the hallway in the beginning, and then you saw a bunch of them with yellow eyes staring at you. That vision returns, and the coldness kind of comes back, and you don't shake loose of it.
I think we just lost Alex Walker.
Oh. Yeah, he's not on the call.
Let's wait.
But yeah, so you don't fully shake loose of it.
All right, I'm gonna put the bear down and pick it back up again and try again. Can I do that? Give it another go? Nah.
So whenever you're like, you maybe think about doing that, maybe you do it. Whenever you're thinking about putting the bear back down, you feel like a sudden like expectation of loss that like is kind of like harmful to you. You're like, oh fuck, no, I don't actually. You have the free will to drop it on the ground again, but you don't really want to. Like you kind of want to keep it.
Okay, in that case, yeah, it's going.
The one bear to rule them all.
It's going straight in my bag. I don't tell anyone about it.
Okay.
Just gonna say it's a
Yeah,
bear,
it's
but
a-
I'm gonna take it.
It's kind of weird that you're subject and not say anything, Darian. You all right?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
scary.
everything's good.
Blink twice if
Wanted
you're
to-
possessed.
What? I didn't hear what you said.
All right. Someone knock him out.
What the fuck? I literally didn't hear what you said, Will.
I said blink twice if you're possessed, and you
Oh,
didn't
shit.
blink.
I'm not blinking, I promise. Aaron does not blink.
Fall.
No, I'm just gonna
Move
say
on.
it's a standard bear, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything magical about it, but I'm gonna keep it for safekeeping for now.
Dope.
Okay.
Maybe it'll
Pretty weird.
be
There you
summoned to a giant giant bear, fire bear ally at some point.
Yeah, just gotta hit level
Okay.
6 first. Gotta
Yep.
use my ult.
Yeah, we're one level off.
That's why I gotta wait for it. we're gonna ding in the middle of a fight, and I'm gonna summon Tibbers. It's gonna work out.
Uh-huh.
I want that.
Alex, you back?
Yeah, I'm having it forced my computer to restart. I haven't actually opened my computer in 4 months, so I think I should be good now.
That'll do it.
This is D&D is the only thing you use your computer for.
Yeah, I mean, because we've been playing Apex and stuff, we've actually been using the Xbox, so
Yeah.
I just use my phone for everything else.
What a world. D&D is the only thing one uses their computer for. That's
Yep.
not a bad outcome.
Gaming laptop for D&D.
Not a bad out. It's a D&D.
Gaming laptop for D&D.
It's a D&D machine.
Man, that's worth it.
I'm sure I'll get pull back into some game of some.
Yeah, league's about to start back up. You missed that discussion, so.
No, I didn't. I'm once Dylan, if he gets back online,
Lad's back
Dude,
in the game.
I'll get back on.
Did.
But I only play Cho, as you know.
We gotta see the Cho.
Cho's also good.
So,
He's pretty good, yeah. People are playing him.
Look, there's only one game, and that's the Lord's game, and that's the Division 2.
Have you been playing that?
It's true.
Yeah, dog.
Alright, so
Really?
put the bear in my bag. And what are we doing next?
yeah, so that was actually kind of a retcon because the events that are next kind of already happened. So y'all opened. So after that just happened, y'all opened this door to the next room, and what you saw was, I think Quilly entered first, if I remember correctly. But why would I remember correctly? This was a fucking long ass time ago. But somebody, y'all saw a woman with her back turned, and she's dark of skin, and she was wearing like a kind of a nurse's outfit. You can tell from the back, and she has like an apron. You can see it tied around her back, and she was kneeling over something. And then you heard kind of a screeching, sawing like sound.
Oh yeah.
And y'all like kind of, I guess, looked in, started to like walk in as a group. This is after also I guess I should go back even further. Mirmo, y'all knocked her unconscious to get her depossessed. And now she is, I guess she's stabilized. I think y'all could choose to heal her. I don't know if you already have. Her health is not 0 on my screen. So I don't know if that means y'all already healed her. Because she
I will
would
say
have had
Malice
So
zero.
we're
is not
here?
Malice is in not great shape after that fight. Wouldn't mind a quick rest.
Rest? Are you serious? In here?
we already rested once in here.
Oh, we did? Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a short rest. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to go to bed.
Darian wants to
Take a quick
get so
breather.
bad. Darian wants to get
Eat
tucked
some-
in with this fucking
eat some
teddy
orange
bear and
slices.
snooze.
Well, I'm gonna say the events have already like unfolded to get y'all into this room, so y'all could.
All right, fine. We're in the room. We're in the room.
But
Malice,
I'm gonna
Malice is
say
sipping a health potion.
Mirmo is conscious again. She's not in great shape because she was just knocked unconscious. She's like very low energy. She's not like the way y'all knocked her unconscious was with like subdual damage, so it wasn't like she was like harmed with an actual monster attacking or anything to get her in that state. So she's like moving a little bit slower, a little bit more sluggish. And actually, she would say, as y'all wake her up, this is before you see the nurse lady. She would say, the ghost that possessed me, it said a specific cadence of words over and over again. It wanted my soul. It wanted to consume it. But then I remembered something. I heard a whisper in my ear a while back, shortly after we entered, I think. I heard the words, "Always look up." And I didn't at the time, but for some reason I felt this urge within me whenever this ghost possessed me to look up again, and I did. And that's whenever I fell up. And if you remember correctly, she like fell to the ceiling and was like held there, and she couldn't move.
Yeah.
And then y'all were able to like get her down, I think, using like the rope, and then beat her into unconsciousness. And she kind of indicated that she was like resisting the possession. And yeah, she basically explains to you that she heard these words, "Always look up," and she did shortly after she was possessed, and she kind of used it as a way to resist it, and along with their like clerical training and magical. And yeah, so that's what she says. So she's conscious again, traveling with y'all, but not in good shape, like I said. So y'all walk in here. You see the nurse lady. She's doing something. You hear a sawing sound, and then she turns to you, and it's almost like, actually, y'all could all roll perceptions as you walk into the room and see this scene.
Perception. Ooh.
That was not great. Oh god.
Get these out of the way.
Is this Dylan? Is this site based?
No, it's audible. This is an audio thing. Ooh, boy.
Woo!
Oh damn.
Malice has
So
a great ear for all things.
you,
Bard.
so you hear. You're kind of like maybe like in the back of the Scooby-Doo gang as y'all like lean in, but you hear this, like it pierces your ear, and you have, or not pierces your ears, but you hear it very well, and you have actually some recollection of what this tune is, but you hear whistling, and it's sourcing directly from this woman. This woman is whistling as she saws, and it's almost in cadence, in beat, in step with it. And you recognize this tune she's whistling. It's actually from, it's a little like childhood, like almost, let's say it's like, it's a childhood ditty called the Itsy Bitsy Phase Spider. And it's like, kids, especially in the western region, just like a very common, because the phase spiders in the forest is a very common like tune. And she's whistling this as she saws, and you hear that and note that nobody else really hears it because the sawing is overcrowding that whistle sound. But then she turns as y'all kind of like start to enter the room.
Fuck.
And she has a mask over her face and there's blood on it. And she says, "Hurry, quick, come in. I think we can still save him." And that is the scene that I think we ended on.
Is what's his name? The guy. Is there blood?
As you sit here and kind of take in the scene, you can see blood to begin to pool and kind of like pour out from the central location at her feet and whatever she seems to be operating upon.
Oh,
Who's
God.
Vance? Whoever is Vance, just stay away.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Vance like freaking out? Or is he-
Vance sees that as well, and he's like, "Oh, ooey, there it is, the good stuff."
Jackpot.
Probably won't be best for me to come close, but maybe someone else could help. I don't know.
His hands are like his little baby hands that are starting to grow in are really freaking out.
So does this thing that is on the ground, does it look like alive in any way? I understand there's blood coming out, but
So yeah, if you like directed your attention to like more what she's working on, so she's kneeling over it, she's in front of it, her body's kind of blocking the bulk of the image. But yes, it looks like a humanoid, but it's reddish, like grayish, and it looks only vaguely humanoid, and it certainly doesn't look alive. And the rest of the room, there's a table off in the corner. There's a small like red candle glowing on it, and you see on the wall in the back, it's kind of like a painting, but it's depicting the anatomy of like a humanoid body, and there's a bunch of callouts with lettering, kind of presumably a diagram of some kind.
Oh man.
And then you see a door on the other end of the room over here, and then two windows, and then the rest of the room is kind of bathed in, it's not very visible, it's very dark in the room outside of the candle. The candle glow is kind of the thing and then you all have dark vision, could see a little bit better, but not a lot of other items of note within the room.
Is this a ghost lady? I mean, can we tell from, I guess with knowledge of everything else?
She appears to you as like a person would. She's not like translucent or obviously a ghost lady or anything. But given how some of the other people that you've encountered that ended up being that way, they also appeared kind of normal when you first encountered them as well. So you would know that, your characters would.
Okay. All right, Dr. Darian's gonna walk up to the body, get a closer look.
Okay. So again, she's like kneeling over it, and it looks like she's carving into this figure's arm. And you get closer, and it looks like kind of an emaciated, like corpse-like figure. There's like holes in its ribs. Its face is like half rotted, and one of its arms is already missing, and that's kind of where the blood is pooling out from. And as she carves in this other room, you see blood spurting more and more as if she's hit something like an artery. And she turns and looks at you. She says, "My name is Desari, and I think everyone deserves a second chance." And as she says that, roll me a perception check. So your focus is on her whenever she's saying that. Oh yeah. But you, and I guess Malice, you would see this as well. This is a sight check, so you get advantage on this actually.
oh, okay. I rolled an 18, but
Yeah, you did really, really high. But yeah, Darian. So you're like looking down at her as she's carving into this arm, and blood's spurting out, and it's like it's almost more blood than you would expect to see. And then the blood is like pooling like near your feet at this point from the other arm, which is like severed kind of at the joint or at the elbow area. And you see the figure on the ground out of the corner of your eye. Its eyes open, and they're glowing bright red. And as soon as that happens, Malice, you see that from across the room as well. You hear the door behind you kind of shut and it doesn't slam shut. It just shuts almost as if it closed on its own. And the arm where it's been cut right next to your feet, Darian, begins to shoot out blood like a fucking hose. And
Oh God.
in a matter of moments, like your entire, like the floor of this room has now like blood is spurting out of this body at a rate that seems impossible.
Jesus.
And y'all
I
can
run to the
react.
door and try to open it.
Yeah, so the door is locked, and you didn't hear a lock or anything, but it's not able to be opened. And yeah, everybody can react to this, but yeah, the blood is pouring out of this thing at a rate that is filling the room slowly but surely.
Oh no.
Vance, how thirsty are you? We're still holding him back. He's the last, like, for a last gasp of air. We'll think about it, but
Vance's tongue is lolling out, and he's like, "Ah," he's not even saying anything. He's just looking below.
I guess. Well,
Should we ask her how to stop the blood?
Just do it.
We
Do
don't
something.
yeah, we don't know if she did it on purpose or not. I mean, can I go try to like do an old tourniquet on the arm to stop the blood? I imagine it's some magical effect though, so it's not going to stop it. But I'm going to get down there and try to get my hands dirty and see if I can stop it.
Okay, so this would be a medicine
Medicine.
check.
Sure.
And I guess what are you using to try to, like, you have a rope or something?
Yeah, I could use a rope. I mean, rope or cloth or just something I've handy. I mean, we just used the rope in the last room with Murmo, not the spooky rope, just the normal rope. But yeah, I'll use the rope to try to like do a tourniquet.
Okay. Roll me a medicine check with disadvantage. So as you like kind of get down, like the blood's just like squirting onto you, and you're like it's blasting out at a rate where it's like kind of requires some of your strength to corral the arm and try to begin to wrap this around. But every time you start to make progress, it becomes undone. And like blood is now covering your hands, and it's making it harder to grip, and you're not really able to make a lot of progress doing that.
Okay. Go ahead, Will.
No, you go ahead, Alex.
I was just thinking I was gonna cast Produce Flame
Cauterize
in my
it.
hand and try to like cauterize the wound.
Oh shit.
Okay. So as you also approach the body, she, the woman, Dasari, she continues to cut, and you hear her kind of like, Darian and Quilly, y'all can both hear this as you're like kind of approaching and trying to do stuff with the body. You hear her like saying, like under her breath almost, she's like focused on her work but saying this. She says, "We had agency. We were free. We were progressing. I learned everything I needed for my profession from saving people. That's right, saving people. But I find that in death, I have changed." And she's continuing to cut, and the other arm's like starting to like, she's starting to sever the other arm.
You guys being like a
this chick
double
is-
fire hydrant.
Fuck, this chick is a straight up mad scientist. Ugh.
Hey, sorry, it'd be great if maybe you could save us as well, because if this room fills with blood, we're going to drown and all die. And I would really love to not do that.
So at this point, like the blood's kind of at your like half up your shins, going towards your knees, and she turns to you and she acknowledges what you just said. And she says, "These creatures deserve no such respect. No matter how much I carve and cut and let its lifeblood across this floor, I just can't seem to kill it." And she carves one last one, and the other arm falls off, and another hose starts.
God damn it.
And you actually see the creature now with its eyes open, its mouth opens as well, and you see 4 fangs, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom jaw, Darian and Quilly.
Oh god.
And now the blood is now filling the room at an increased pace, and the chair and like the table over in the corner are starting to like float in the blood as it's like rising and rising. And then you said you're going to try to produce flame.
Wait, it was just Quilly and Darian that saw the fangs.
You mean, I would say with your perception, like you're like focused in the area, you can clearly see this thing's eyes you saw before, and now you see its mouth open.
So it's like alive, kind of.
Okay, I take Olivar and I plunge it into its chest.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Roll me an attack.
Do I have advantage because this thing is fucking lying down?
Not advantage, but I'd say like, yeah, the armor class would be a different than you would expect.
Oh,
Assume that hits.
Yeah, so you plunge this directly into the center of its chest, a little bit to the left, and what you notice before you even begin to like experience the effects is Olivar is like feasting off of this experience and is letting you know that this is the good stuff that it likes to do, as you know. And the creature on the ground now with both arms gone, just blood pouring out of them, its head lolls back a little bit and it screams, just this blood curdling scream, and then out of its mouth blood begins to spurt. Shitload.
Fuck.
And its eyes are bleeding, its mouth is just unleashing this torrent, and its body is like kind of deteriorating from the force of all this blood coming out of it. And you actually see Dasari, she looks at you for a moment, she pulls down her mask, and she's like smirking, and you see her eyes kind of soften, and she fades away. You don't see her anymore.
Oh man.
So you're stored. Olivar's in this thing's chest. You grab Griffin it by the hilt.
Got the triple fire hose going on.
Yeah, so now the room, y'all are beginning to have to like tread water. Mirmo is in the back, and she's like, "The heavy armor." And yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, what else is in the room again?
What's that?
What else is in the room again?
So you see, there's the door in the back. Obviously, yeah. I mean, as far as like exits, you'd see door over here, windows over here, door y'all came in through, and then everything else is just like, this is all just stone wall with nothing in particular on it. And then on this stone wall back here, there's the diagram of the body that y'all saw. And then this body's on the ground, kind of. Yeah, I mean, you don't really see what's on the ground underneath it, but whenever y'all first walked in, it was just like, I don't know, it was just on the ground, covered in some blood around it, and then there's the table and chair over here.
Did you try to cauterize it already, Quilly? Or did you just get, like, blown away by blood? What happened?
I don't know. I think I was going to cauterize it, and then Will jumped over me and, like, slammed him in the chest.
You can still try to do that.
I saw the fangs, and I tried to fucking murder it. I thought it was a vampire.
How far is the blood up? Is the blood up to the base of the window?
Yeah, the blood is now to the point where it's like at y'all's like chests, depending on how tall y'all are, obviously. But
okay, I wade over to the window and take out my longsword and try to slam the window and break it.
Okay, roll an attack on the window.
Oh, oops! Twice.
I'll take the first one.
Okay.
Second one, it creams off and you impale yourself. Now so you attack it. Is your longsword magical?
No.
I don't think, yeah.
My dagger is, but not my longsword.
Yeah, so you attack it with a longsword, and it's like it just glances off, doesn't crack the glass. The window doesn't look particularly like strong, or it's reinforced by like the bars across and vertically. But it doesn't seem to have any effect on that initial attack, at least.
Oh shit! Oh, I could use a spell slot and cast Shatter. Try to shatter the window. Is it worth it to do that?
Did I?
At this point, I would say everybody would roll like initiative, so we can just order what everybody's doing.
Okay.
Because it's like the clock is ticking on this event.
All right, that's fair. So I click my thing, and then
Yeah, so you click your token, and then you'd click initiative on your character sheet.
Oh, fuck.
Initiative? Okay. 1 sec.
And while we wait, or I guess never mind. This is probably gonna be something I have to ask.
Miramo at turn. Oh man, my dice. Forgot about old dice. Miramo rolled a 6. Alright, so Sirocco, I'd say you could take an action first while these events are unfolding around you.
Fuck.
A weird way for the party to die.
Yeah.
Drowning in blood.
It's pretty metal though.
I mean, it is metal as hell.
Is that like a metal? That does sound kind of like a metal song name or something.
Raining Blood. That's
Oh,
right. I
okay.
could search that right now, I would.
You got to the raining blood part? Nice. Perfect.
Wait, so what's going on?
We're just ordering like how y'all are taking action to this point. So Sirocco rolled highest initiative, so he's gonna go next. And he also hasn't,
Okay.
he hasn't done anything yet anyway, so you could theoretically, like, you would have I would say you would go first, regardless, almost.
I mean, I fucking don't know. I'm trying to quickly refamiliarize myself with my abilities.
Right.
I'm gonna know that I'm low on health. So I'm gonna prepare. I don't have any key points, I guess, either.
Oh no.
You're 0 key points?
Well, no, I mean, I remember using a couple, but I don't remember when they last reset. This is showing that there's... Maybe I do. Does anybody remember whenever we... Hey, no, sorry. I'm looking at luck. So I have 1 luck, but I have 4 key.
Yeah, I don't think you
used one.
used all your...
No, I'm going to prepare Water Whip and then take a potion.
Prepare Water Whip to hit what?
I mean, do I have
Yes.
to decide that at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to, if you're going to prep and like an attack.
Mostly just
I mean, you
for
can hold your
the...
turn.
I guess mostly for like the disabling, like knocking prone or pulling to me effect.
The creature? The thing on the ground? Or...
Well, I mean, just I don't. That's what I guess what I'm asking. If I don't know, so I have to prepare it before and have a target
you could
beforehand.
say something like, I wanted to use it to knock prone any enemy that appears within range over the next round. And that would be
Yeah,
like anything
that's
that's-
essentially what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you
Yeah,
gotta take
I'll-
a potion.
Yes.
What is that? 2d4 plus
2d4
normal potion?
plus. Yeah, I think I still have 2 of those, but I used my chugged whatever my greater one last time.
Alright, so then Mouse, you'd be next after you roll that hell healing.
2d4.
Okay. I'm gonna talk to Olivar and be like, hey, did you get anything out of this thing when you bit into it? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. We're about to drown in blood here.
It would say, this creature is undoubtedly vampiric, but it's so filled with blood of the living, dead, the other world. I don't even know how it can contain this much. I don't know what kind of creature this is beyond its base trait as a vampire, or it used to be one. It's both alive and dead. I don't know what's happening either. Is what it would basically
Fuck.
convey.
Okay, got it. All right, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on whatever the fuck this thing is.
Damn it.
And,
What I was gonna do.
and I'm gonna, as the healing words I say are that little itsy bitsy face fighter song.
Okay.
So
So
it
you
regains.
roll the healing word damage or health.
Fuck.
So you see the healing word hits its form, and it's almost like whenever you've seen necrotic damage on humans before, where necrotic damage is like some of the most painful and like also most grotesque way for like a human body to be a mortal's body to be damaged. And you see this healing word have a similar effect on this creature, but like in a reverse way, to where its skin starts to peel away further, like on the torso area where you saw it was starting to like burst at the seams, and this healing word kind of speeds that progress along, and its body is kind of barely containing all this blood spurting out of it, and this healing word rips away some more of its flesh, and
Jesus.
more blood begins to spray in your
shit.
face.
All right, guys. I don't think I'm gonna touch this thing anymore. I haven't done much
Yeah.
to help.
So, like, I mean, hitting it, I guess hurting it with your weapon or healing spells makes it bleed more, right? That's whenever you hit it with Olivar, did it start bleeding more as well?
That's whenever it
Yeah.
opened its mouth, yeah, and started.
Okay, that's what it was,
It
gotcha.
screamed, which is the first sound you heard from it, and then it started spraying it out. And then
I'm remembering, like, whenever we had, like, a similar blood-filled room in that, like, one campaign where we played at Will's place, like, forever ago. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Sorry, John. Did you just say you were metagaming?
No, I'm reminiscing. I'm sorry.
Only
In
God.
a previous
Only
life.
God remembers that. God's name is me.
because there's some galaxy brain outside of Malice that also remembers that, but Malice doesn't remember that.
No. Darian does not remember, but Galaxy Brain does remember.
Galaxy Brain. Sick. All
Memory
right.
can be a tricky thing.
Whose turn is it to
It's
fuck
Chloe's
something
turn
up now?
All right. I think I'm just gonna have to try to shatter this window. I feel like that's my best bet.
Okay. So you're gonna shatter the corner, the top right window. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like far enough away from us so it doesn't like fuck
All
us
right.
up.
Yeah. So you're gonna localize it over there to where it's gonna hit the window for sure. And
Yeah.
you can roll me that damage depending on what level you're gonna cast it at.
I think it's just max level as a warlock, possibly.
I think you can cast it at a second level.
Oops.
Mirmo, save us.
Oh yeah, we could have asked Mirmo what to do.
It's her turn next, but
Yeah. So I was
Sorry,
typing
typing.
something while you're doing
I've lost
that.
quite a bit of faith in Mirmo. She's been fairly worthless this entire time.
sorry, she's gonna come in clutch right here. and Fucking
Hey,
do
did
something.
you say that out loud in character?
No, I didn't.
It's like fucking talking about her in the third person.
This is
Yeah,
Galaxy.
fuck Mirmo.
No,
just-
sorry, that was not in character. That's one of the. I guess that's one of the plague not using character voices.
I was just typing this out in while you were doing that, but like I couldn't type it fast enough. Okay, so shatter, you see it hit.
Oh yeah, look, very very helpful.
But right after she says that she's gonna do something, because her turn's next. But Quilly, your shatter, so you see it hit against the window and like the table and chair, which are like kind of floating, and like the blood is like getting up to y'all's chest, like I was saying. And it does shatter. You see the chair and the table kind of break and shatter on top of the surface of this blood. And then the shatter, I guess it's thunder damage, hits off of this window. And you see the window remain intact. And you notice on the window, there is some kind of arcane, I mean, like given you're an arcane user, there's an arcane like symbology on it in red. And whenever you hit it, this red arcane symbology lights up for a second and then goes away, and the
fuck.
window looks completely unharmed.
Oh, there's some sort of magic shield on this. I should have checked. Damn.
And you see Mirmo, she's like in heavy armor. She's struggling for one because she's a dwarf and she's a lot shorter than y'all, and she's wearing heavy armor. So she's like, guys, I don't know about y'all, but I can't breathe blood. And then you see her hands come out of the blood around her and like slam together, and you see her close her eyes and her like mouth is just above the blood as it's rolling about her, and she begins to cast a spell, and she says, fill your lungs with much needed air here in the coming moments. And then I'm gonna roll this, and
Hold my breath.
everyone heals for that much.
Oh shit,
Oh
Cast prayer
shit.
Healing.
that was a fucking heal and a half.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I take everything I said back.
Yeah, I love you, Mirmo. I don't say that in character though. I don't want her to know.
That's a forbidden love. Okay, so she gets that back as well, and then Darian, it'd be your turn.
Oh shit. Well, I literally have no idea what to do. I'm looking at my spells.
Is there? Can I tell what the rune on the window said?
You could roll me an Arcana.
Oh,
Oh,
what the fuck?
It's in Spanish.
it's just a Spanish. All magic is just Spanish until it's well.
Damn. Okay, so, you know the arcane symbology. You don't know what it like says specifically, but what it's indicating is this is not the way out. You will not escape via this portal, this opening, like the window itself. It's saying this is not the way out, and that's very clear, like conveying that. But it doesn't say anything specifically. It's just that's kind of like the symbol that they use to put over whatever ward they put on the window.
Okay. I tell Darian, hey, looks like the window probably isn't going to be a good way out.
Well, that gives me even less options. Fuck, dude. None of my spells do anything in
Ooh,
relation to this. I was gonna try to heal him.
What about the fireplace? Can we get out through the
Yeah, can you
fireplace?
describe the room one more time? Is there like a Santa Claus chimney we can climb up?
There is no fireplace in this room.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So this wall over here, it kind of curves out over here, but it's just like stone and it has no like features on it. It's like kind of worn away. And then this is stone wall over here, stone wall in between the windows, big wooden door over here, big wooden door over here. So there's two doors. The one y'all just came through that I guess
Oh, shit.
Malice tried to open that was locked, and then this door over here, and then the poster on the wall.
I was still looking at the other room where we were. I was like confused where you were drawing all this shit at. All our characters are in the other room still as well.
Wait, what? Wait,
In the
where
big
did...
room.
He's talking
I
about
was
the
up.
room where we got
I was
behind
farther north.
Oh, okay, no. So that's like just where like the battle took place. But if you
Yeah,
scroll
yeah.
down, we're like in this.
Yeah, I see this. I see it now. I was
Okay.
I was looking at that room and I was like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
didn't know where you
Whoa.
were drawing all this stuff.
Wait, yeah, we have 2 copies of our characters.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
so that's
weird.
just like the
Do we
battle
get 2
stuff up
turns
there.
then?
I can
So
remove.
wait,
Ping that
Darians?
shit again. Because yeah, I was looking at the top room also.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if you
insane.
scroll, wow, okay, so that's,
Back down.
That's not.
Right
Do I
here.
get
was
2
in the correct
turns?
Gotcha.
Darian, there's 2 of them.
So this, I made her disappear, but this is what the woman looked like that I guess y'all never saw. Well, her token. That was Desari. But yeah, this is the room I've been looking at this whole time, so that's why I've been describing.
On the
Yeah,
same
thanks.
page now.
Got it.
Gosh darn it.
Okay, what other clues do we learn about
Ah.
this place? Does anyone remember?
I'm just gonna black this room out up here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Can anyone make a spider? I'm just trying to relate anything else, like any other information we have.
What about spiders?
Just the,
Someone tried the door on the other side.
Try the door on the other side. Good idea, Malice.
I thought that was locked.
Probably
I
gonna be
think the
locked,
door. It's probably gonna be locked, but
Yeah, so you'd actually have to like reach down into the blood or like wade through and like your hands like underneath the water at this point as you're trying to turn the knob. And
I
it's
pull out
definitely
my
locked.
goggles and I die.
Wait, you're already dead?
No, I'm just saying I pull out my swimming goggles.
Swimming goggles, yeah.
Oh, okay, solid.
Good thing you brought them.
I never leave home without them.
Y'all went swimming earlier. Y'all had like a Gattaca swim battle. It's actually
Oh, yeah.
canon. It's actually
yeah,
potentially
you fucking
canon.
lost to me, motherfucker.
It's true.
Yeah, Sirocco's not so good at athletics.
Well, then I'll let somebody else do it. I'm good at acrobatics, but not athletics.
Yeah.
I try to open the door and the door's
You get
locked.
from
The door's
Min-maxing,
locked,
motherfucker.
Darian, yes.
Yeah, I don't know
Door's
how.
locked. Can I attack the door?
You could try to attack the door. Depending on how you do that, may be more or less effective, given that most of the door is now submerged in water or blood, like you are.
I'm just gonna give it the old halberd treatment.
Okay, so you're gonna attack the door.
Yep.
Roll me that attack.
My attack. Do I have disadvantage on my attacks too? I forget.
Nope, only ability checks.
Well, shouldn't
Or
matter.
saving throws. I think it's only saving throws. I don't actually think it's ability checks. So
Oh. Well, let's redo everything. 'cause
Redo
I-
You've been royally fucking him then.
just I mean, I can look in the Google Doc, but I'm pretty
It's fine,
sure it's
yeah.
just this session. Most of the time, it's been only saving throws, not ability checks. So yeah, you attack, and clearly this catches your eye as well because you just saw it happen. Whenever you hit this door with your magical halberd, you see some arcane symbology appear on it, and the door appears like it's like you're hitting steel instead of wood
Wow.
with your
That's-
magical halberd.
It's not good.
Alright. Let's get some non-magical shit in here. Try it out.
All
I
right,
don't have
so
any other-
as they
Oh,
come
wait,
to the
I have
top of the order
another-
again.
Yeah.
You have another what?
I have another attack, but I
Okay,
would have
yeah.
to change. I don't think I have another weapon, so never mind. Plus, I'd have to like.
I would also say like at the trying the door is like at least somewhat.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, never mind.
So as the round like this all this time passes, the blood level in the room rises again, and for I'm gonna say pretty much everyone, especially Mirmo, this is gonna like engulf you to where you're gonna have to like now tread blood, as it were, to stay
Nice.
up. It's not covering the entire room yet. But everybody can roll me both a dexterity saving throw to see how well you can handle that. I guess was it be
boy.
strength? It'd be athletics. I would say athletics. An athletics check to see how well you handle this,
I like that one.
and then
Nope, I don't like that one.
a perception check, and this would be visual at the same time. So Sirocco, what did you roll? Athletics, and then perception.
Yeah.
But I would say Malos.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Uh,
Your athletics.
oh, yeah. I'll take it.
Okay, so Sirocco, you your head like never submerges. Like you just wade with the rising level in the room, and you stay above, and you're hyper observant of everything. But then Quilly, Malos, and Darian and Mirmo.
Can I just stand on the table?
The table is actually now shattered apart.
But yeah, about that.
But Malos, you and Quilly. It's not necessarily hard to see. That's why it's like Quilly. You like kind of notice it in like the far left of your peripheral vision if you're like facing the windows. Y'all, for a split second, are like your head fully submerges in the blood, and kind of just by the nature of like the rapidity of this situation, your eyes stay open for a second in the blood, and both of y'all see a light source emanating from like this dark crimson liquid, as if you're like looking through water. You can see underwater. You can't see under blood very well, but you notice a light source emanating from this corner of the room.
Like over
As
here?
along the wall or along the floor, you can't tell because it's out of your peripheral vision, Mouse. You can see it a little bit better, and it looks like it's on the wall. But both of y'all notice that just before you start to try to tread up above to keep your ability to stay above the blood and breathe.
Oh.
And Malos, for a long time, you don't see Mirmo surface, but eventually she does, and she's gasping for air, and then she like sinks again, because you do know that she's wearing heavy armor. And then it would be Sirocco's turn, as you are feeling good, breathing the air,
Water
the
whip.
musty air of the room.
Somebody
I,
want to get on my
Do I have
shoulders?
a free? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Or have I used all my speech up?
No,
I'm
you
just,
can
I'm just gonna shout to the room. It's like, hey, there's something glowing over in this corner over here. I'm not sure what it is, but I saw it just before the blood engulfed it. And
Dang
I-
it.
Missed the lever.
I saw it too.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and
Got blood
explore
in my
there
eyes,
with
I can't see
my hands
anything.
and feet under the blood.
So you're gonna like
Or I'll
wait
just-
over there,
I'm gonna drop my goggles and yeah,
and you're going under.
I'm going under.
Okay. So when you go under, you open up your eyes. I'm going to say, in order to fully canonize these goggles, tell me high or low, and then roll a d100. Actually, I'm rooting for this to be real, but I'm not gonna decide it. I'm gonna let fate decide it.
Definitely high and the.
Malice actually has goggles on.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Malice does have those allies.
Oh no,
You said high?
I did.
Okay. So you've got special monk eyes, so you're still able to see. It's not very comfortable on those monk eyes, but you dig under, and you actually have the thought that like maybe that's the reason you lost to Malice was because you didn't have goggles in the swim contest.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I
You also just have like weak arms for anything other than punching. Like and like technique,
funny.
you have technique arms. Like you have arms like me. Like they're like spindly. They've got some strength behind them when they hit in the right areas, but they're not like swimming athletic arms. You know, like
I'm not
Malice.
jacked.
Yeah,
Okay.
Malice has like dad strength,
Okay.
that's been canonized for like a while now.
This is true.
So you go under and you see on the stone is, and I would say like with your eyes, you've been able to see both of the arcane symbols on the window and the door that Quilly and Darian attacked respectively. You see an arcane symbol. You can't tell how similar or different it is really than what on those other ones because you weren't like paying close attention to them. But there's an arcane symbol. It's red. It's glowing. It's on the wall, and it's about as big as the window, and it's circular, and it looks like it's been carved in, but it wasn't there until the blood kind of engulfed it. So that's what you see when you dive under and look at it, kind of point blank.
So I recognize the symbol.
You could roll me an Arcana or a Religion to try to decipher what this symbol would mean.
Am I still holding my breath?
Yeah, but you'd have time to like come out of this.
Wait, is it the same one that I saw?
You don't know yet. You could find that on your turn. You could get more information on it on your turn. That Arcana is going to net you. You do not know what this symbol is, what it might mean. To you, it just looks like a magic symbol on a wall.
Okay. Well, I guess I come back up
Mm-hmm.
and I spit some blood out of my mouth. Like you do if you're in a pool.
You actually, this blood being all over you isn't a new thing, as your like little curse-like effect you've had on for a while now is that you just have been spurting blood out of your body. in a non-painful, non-you blood, but just blood has been on you the whole time. So this is actually like maybe comfortable. It's your favorite
I
environment.
do like that little thing where you squeeze your hand and you squirt blood, like water at people. I do that.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
now,
I try
now
to
out of movements.
I
and
try to
actions the turn.
describe what it looks like. I use like my bloody finger to paint on the wall what it looked like.
Are you like, you just
symbol.
doing that? Are you saying words as
Doing
well?
it saying like, hey, everyone remember this because I won't remember this next time in 3 months whenever we're trying to get out of this room again.
All right, Malice, it's your turn.
Fuck. Did he draw the symbol?
I did.
In a shitty way, yes, on the wall right above.
Hey, you
where
don't
the-
know that I'm not really good at finger painting.
Fuck. Okay. I dive down and try to look at it. I do have ally goggles.
Okay. Yep. So you're able to.
I'm peeping.
You can see it very clearly. It's just point blank, a glowing symbol, not hard to miss at this point. You already kind of saw it out of the corner of your eye. You do not recognize it outside of like it's similar, as in like it's a red glowing symbol similar to what was on the door and window. Like I said to Sirocco, you could roll Arcana or Religion to see what you see on it.
Not great at either of those things. Oh, apparently I am. Never mind. I'm
hot damn.
going to tell you what it is right now.
So you recognize this as, from a religious perspective, this is kind of like forbidden, darker arts type arcane runes that you would kind of note that the other two were kind of more protective and based on like obviously what you saw they did had served that purpose, and this serves a different purpose than those. You're not like sure of the specifics of it, but you know this is not necessarily like a protective rune. It has a different purpose. Is like the best way I can explain that. That's a pretty good roll, but like it's not something you can like read, you know.
All right. Well, in typical Malice fashion, I'm going to stab the rune with Olivar.
Okay. So I'm gonna say roll an attack with disadvantage as you're swinging, and I guess you probably wouldn't get your like strength modifier on the damage because this is like through like blood, but you can make an attack and like connect
I
with.
feel
your
like you
foot
could
on it.
stab pretty well. I'm not necessarily swinging. I'm making a stabbing motion.
Yeah, but you can roll an attack with all the normal modifiers or whatever, but I'll like just know that it's not delivering with the same impact.
Okay. So wait, disadvantage or no?
Not disadvantage, just roll a normal attack and then damage as well. Okay. So
That's fucking max damage.
as you strike this, it glows as your sword hits it, but it kind of clangs off. It leaves a little chip in the center where you're like hitting it, and it glows for a second and then goes away as soon as the sword's near it. But it doesn't. No other change.
Do I still have some movement?
Sure, yeah.
Can I try to pass through the wall?
So you're gonna try to just like
Or
swim
I just like reach my
against
I
it?
just like reach my hand into the rune.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just like reach my hand into the rune. Yeah.
So yeah, whenever you reach your hand and touch the rune, it glows again, and it stays glowing as long as your hand is there. But your hand doesn't pass through, and there's no other change.
All right. Well, stabbing it didn't work, and this thing glows as long as my hand is in contact with it. I don't know what that means. Fuck. I guess that's my turn.
Okay. Willie, you're up next.
Oh shit. Okay. What did you find out from your intuition about the rune, Malice? Could you tell me one more time? You thought it
Basically nothing.
Can I say it was nice knowing y'all as a free action right now?
was... Do I have anything that could help with this? I have a speak with dead wand. Not the useful right now.
Yeah. The only thing I learned was that it's like not like a keep out rune.
So what does that mean? Like we can't, it won't prevent us from leaving?
It's just not the same thing as like what the shit that was on the window
Oh, interesting.
that you tried.
Is there anything on the ceiling of this room? I look around the ceiling.
No, the ceiling is kind of just, it's stone also, like the walls, and kind of worn away a bit, but nothing of note, just gray stone all the way across the top, which from most other rooms, most of the rooms have had ceilings that are wooden, but most of the rooms have also had walls that are not like this as well. So it's like kind of keeping in line with what this room is.
Okay. Is Vance like freaking out drinking the blood?
Yeah, I guess so. Vance is now fully submerged as you're treading water,
Uh-huh.
and I guess have you like submerged your head to like go down and or you're treading water. You caught the
Yeah.
glimpse of it, but you're kind of just treading water, so like you don't can't see what he's doing, but he's fully submerged.
Vantis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, I guess I'll dive down and I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do.
I will
So what-
I will remind you that you saw that rune and like you rolled a 20, so like you have very, very good knowledge, and that is going to potentially carry forward across these whenever you saw both runes. You saw the one that Darian attacked and you saw the one you shattered. Both of those runes matched up, and you're like, those are both the same type of rune that like this is a protective defense ward, this is not the way out. Those had the exact same, and you noticed that.
Okay.
That same symbol that showed in the corner? Because I wouldn't know, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you haven't specifically told me that you've looked at the one in the corner. You only noticed
No,
the light.
no.
Okay, I'm gonna plug my nose and like do a motion with my hand above my head, kind of like in a squiggly line, and then like dive underwater.
Okay.
And then go look at the rune in the corner.
Okay. So you see this rune, and in the same way that you can like quote unquote read it, like the other two or the other one you like shattered initially,
Okay.
this one does seem to almost say something. And it says very succinctly, or it conveys very succinctly, blood for blood.
Oh god.
I take out my dagger, slice the tip of my finger, and put it on the rune.
Yep. So as you do that, the
Sick.
wall begins to shift and change, and you see it open up long ways, and the blood starts to pour out of this room and into a chamber that you open up and see into, and everyone kind of launches into this. So this is what you see.
It's like a drain, kind of.
Well, you see. Let me clear out the
Go
fog.
ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I guess I should describe this before I clear it fully, but so you see kind of a very small little alcove that this leads into. The blood pours into the room, and y'all all kind of like fall into the room. Since you caused this, Quilly, you have the best view of it. You see kind of centrally located in the room, standing up vertically, is a coffin.
Oh.
So everyone kind of against their will like goes with the water or the blood and lands in this room. And immediately the blood doesn't stay in the room. You notice that it just starts to like seep away, presumably somewhere, like as if it's being drained. But you don't see any holes in the floor. You don't see a gutter or like any way this could be happening. But y'all kind of all land prone around this coffin, and you hear the unmistakable sound of the door of this coffin splitting for a second, and then it just falls, and the full front side of the coffin falls onto the ground as all of you are lying there.
Okay.
So I say
What's
y'all
in
could
there?
take some sort of action at this point. So all y'all are in there. I won't put all your tokens in there because they can't really fit, but y'all can all fit in there. It's kind of a tight space, but yeah, so
Whoa.
that's where we're at.
Damn.
And I'm gonna take a break for a second because I gotta pee. So
Okay.
that's where we're at.
Ditto.
I don't know, like if this lore is just in my head or if it's been revealed to y'all.
Somewhere in Darian's cosmic mind, he feels like this rune's been revealed to him before.
No, it's lore. Do y'all remember what's in? Y'all remember Slade's journal? 'Cause I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I said in there. If it's something that I wrote in there, it's already part of y'all's.
Well, just tell us and we'll say yes or no.
Oh man, I don't know if I wait. Maybe it would be in. It should be gone.
Oh, okay, now much better.
Something was
We're
hiding.
swept, immediately swept away.
I'm raging. Like, oh, I'm back in the game.
I'm feeling it.
No, I was telling Alex like there's like the Dumbo trailer.
God.
They didn't show the Dumbo trailer before us, but like I've seen it before, and like there was like a Dumbo like thing at like the theater where it's like Dumbo's like cardboard or something. And in the Dumbo trailer, there's like a moment where it's showing all like the different scenes that trailers do, and like Michael Keaton's in it, and he's like the big like circus like showman guy. And there's like a scene where he's overacting the hell out of this moment where he like Dumbo flies by him, and he turns and he has this like terrible face on, and he's like, "I feel like a kid again," and like it was the worst. It's maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in like a movie trailer.
Oh God.
But that's what just happened when John looked at me deleting that little like health bar. Like, oh, I'm back.
Nice.
It was shared at some point. I'm trying to look for that Google Doc where it showed like the mission options, and it was like a lore dump of like the things that happened in the 6 months time jump.
Let's see if I can find that.
Just tell me the title of it so I can like search it. I don't know why it's not easily findable in mine.
Into Fate dash time jump.
Is that what I labeled? Yeah, I guess that is it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Faye is a babe. Damn. I didn't realize she was so hot. Holy shit.
Quilly probably would have noticed.
Sweet.
Okay, is everybody back?
Walker back?
There it is, the 4 threads. That's what I was looking for. So this is like the lore thing of like the different missions, not the time jump.
Oh, the 4 threads. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, this is where we chose what to do.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all do have the knowledge that I think you have. Okay. It's good to know. You'll know when I explain if it comes up. All right. Is Alex back?
I haven't heard.
Walk.
Fuck, I was on mute. Yeah, I've been here.
Okay. Sorry.
Whole time.
All right. So this is where y'all at. Y'all can take an action. The coffin is in the center of the room. Y'all are all kind of just like recovering as this like blood pool of blood drains around you into the room, and you see this coffin shaped like that. It's black with like very finely like untarnished wood making it up, and it has like what look like black seams on like the crenellations around the edge of the coffin, and it's standing vertically. And the door kind of like, I don't know, other than like the sound of like when you walk in Skyrim, when you walk into like a Durgar final battle room, and the sound of the coffins like detaching as the Durgar like warlord comes out of his coffin. That's the sound that this thing makes as the coffin door comes off and falls onto the ground.
Good.
I don't know how to mimic that. I don't even know how to describe that sound, but that's what the sound is. Something like that.
Sounds dope.
Sounds like we're in trouble.
Yeah, what's in there? Can we see?
Yeah, so if y'all got up and looked within, you see an interesting figure, and his face specifically is changing in real time. On his body, you see he's like outfitted in full, almost, I guess, Malos. You could probably most relate to this, and like maybe Sirocco or Quilly as well, like kind of adventurer's gear, like light armor. He has like a cloak on. He has 2 swords around his belt. One's a short sword, one's a longer sword, and he's wearing like what can only be described as like a cowboy-esque hat, and his arms are across his chest in the X formation. And you see all this, and like his clothes are pretty pristine as he's standing within this coffin. But his face, when you initially look at it, it appears very similar to Malos, the figure that you plunged your sword into. Pale, emaciated, not quite rotting like that one was, but pale, emaciated, and you see the top 2 incisors, the bottom 2 incisors, and his mouth is open slightly. And then as you're standing there, like literally in real time, you see his face begin to change and fill out, and his teeth become less and less elongated, and his face returns with color. And you could also roll, everybody who's looking could roll a perception check just generally on this scene and the coffin itself, if you notice something else as well. And I would say this is visual. So yeah, Sirocco and Malos, Darian, even Quilly, y'all all notice that this kind of black border that you thought was black on the edge of the coffin actually is clear, and the marking behind it is black, and you notice it is almost like a thermometer, which I guess don't exist, but like that, there's red filling the sides of the coffin, going up and filling what was black and turning it red, and it kind of goes all the way to the point of the coffin, and his face returns to almost like a youngish, I don't know, mid-30s male human, what he looks like. And as he's standing there, his eyes open, and this is kind of the figure that you see. And he opens his eyes, he looks coherent, his eyes scan all of you staring at him. Doesn't move, but he says, You shouldn't be here. I wish you weren't here. No one should have ever stepped foot in this place again. As he's like kind of scanning all you with some trepidation.
Hey, can I have that gun you're holding?
Yeah, so he doesn't have a gun. What I described is what you see. He has 2 swords on his hilt. On his belt.
Yeah. We didn't particularly want to be here either, but we're trying to help out.
Yeah, if you didn't want us to come in here, you probably, should have told someone to not have a, ever-filling room full of blood. That the only way to stop it was to gain access to this room. Just, architecture thought for you going forward.
Yeah. Roll me a charisma check on that.
Oh, you're good at charisma.
Oh, fuck. I am good at charisma, but not. Apparently not.
So he kind of responds to that just with like confusion in his eyes. And he says, blood. Yeah, the seal on the door, the symbol of Sanguis can only be broken with blood. And at the mention of Sanguis, y'all could roll me history checks.
Seal of Sanguis. Oof.
So actually, Quilly, I'll say, given like your knowledge, complete knowledge of those runes, and then also just rolling anything at all, like I think you were there whenever Faye explained some of this, and Malice, you remember. So kind of in the 6 months after the whole incident with Fallon and like all the people leaving, what is it called? I can't remember the name of the city. The city that you're from. Fallholt, sorry. Fallholt. Yes, everybody leaving Fallholt. Magia kind of took over the mayoral duties, and they're doing like a pretty extensive investigation into what the fuck that meant and why he left and what is in his mansion and everything. And Faye indicated that she went into investigating of her own before kind of things got full swing and she didn't have access to it, and she's found this underground passage where there was some symbol on the door that now Magia is doing like extensive investigations into, and the symbol was to Behesindra, which is like this old god that was seemingly forgotten to time, that is the god of blood, the blood moons, and the mention of Sanguis is associated with that, to where he's like, Sanguis was some entity or entities associated with Behesindra and Blood God, and that, like, that general knowledge. So whenever he says Sanguis, that triggers that memory. And I guess y'all remember Fallon and his group had some weird affinity with blood and using it to fight. You remember that from the fight with Gilvarnek? That was literally a year ago. And then also whenever y'all like confronted him later on. So yeah, he says, blood, that seal on the door, the symbol of Sanguis, it can only be broken with blood. There shouldn't be any blood in this house anymore. So he just says that in response to what you saying, and he looks confused at you saying endless room of blood and all that.
There shouldn't be any blood. What are the 3 warring families again? It's like Menikis. Remember, or is that really? I don't know if that's
the 3 warring families are Menikis is this family, Malice's family, and then the Gaiman Navis, the Gaiman Navis family, and the Loxus family.
I ask him if he knows, if he remembers how he got into the coffin.
So you see him like kind of flexing his fingers, and it looks like he's like getting like used to like moving again because it looked like he was, locked in place. And he's like creaking his neck. He's like, "Oh, remember. How could I forget?"
Flashback time.
And he looks melancholy as he speaks these words. He says, "I spent my entire life hunting these creatures." And he looks at each one of you. Vampires. They can become stronger than anything you can imagine. And even before I began my hunt for them, I experienced such strength firsthand. I used to hunt game here in the surrounding regions, the Forest of Shadows, the worst and most dangerous kind of game a man can go after. But I grew bored of that, and I transitioned to hunting the ultimate form of game. Not man, like them, but vampire. And I had to hone my body and mind to their fullest just to be able to compete with them. Until, at my peak, physically, I was bested. It was only later I learned it was those damn Gamma Nivis that caused it, that trapped me. They set me on an impossible hunt. And he flexes his fingers and he's almost like he's blinking, and it almost looks like he's in pain one moment and then going back to being melancholy the next. It's like, now that I am one of them, I can feel that immense power. This power that I didn't have to work 1 minute for. And god damn it, it feels good. And he's kind of flexing his fingers, and he's breathing out. And Malos, you notice that he's kind of been glancing around, cricking his neck, looking around as he speaks. He has now locked his eyes onto your belt hilt, I guess, where you keep Olivar sheathed, and he's staring right at it. And his eyes are kind of widening, and you see his teeth are bared for a second. His incisors are still elongated a little bit, but not as much as they were when you first saw him. And he says, "I know that blade. I can feel it. Good sir, where did you come across such a blade?"
I found it by chance in a tomb. Why do you ask? How do you know this blade?
That blade was wielded one of, if not the greatest hunters of all time. Its legend is as old as the game itself, as the art of hunting itself. Hunting vampires. And I won't ask you to let me wield it, but I would ask you, it houses a soul, does it not? And he looks you in the eyes as he says this.
It does.
Olivar, he was a hunter, the mentor to this hunter of which I speak, the hunter of legend. He is rumored to have entered this blade. Oh, what I wouldn't do to wield such a blade in my prime. But now
$20.
I feel as though to try to touch such a weapon, so designed, so willed to kill creatures such as me, would only hurt me. He kind of closes his eyes, goes back to being melancholy. But then you can roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage, as Olivar is also listening to this.
Whoa.
So Olivar surges with kind of this activity of, it almost feels like you're channeling it, remembering things. And if you remember correctly, when you first wielded it, it was just kind of like a disembodied feeling, and it was an emotion you had to connect to and overcome in order to be able to control it. And once you did, it worked together with you, and it gave you this vague feeling that it killing undead things. And then the more you used it, the more you killed. I think the first time you killed a vampire, it kind of awakened, and it became something that could speak to you and carry on a conversation. And it kind of carried the same feelings, but was more intelligent. And now you can kind of feel it remembering a bit more of its own past. And Olivar is the name of a person. And it was a hunter, as this person spoke, and a mentor to other hunters. And kind of the core singular memory you get back from this moment of memory is that together, Olivar, this person in some distant past, you don't know how to place it where it is as far as like a timeline. Together, it and these other hunters that it mentored brought about an end to vampires. They literally drove them into like extinction, and that is its memory of its own life. It's kind of one of its most important memories. It gets drawn back as it listens to this person from the coffin speak.
Oh, so how well did you know Olivar? I asked the guy.
I did not know Olivar. He was a figure before my time, but his legends are far and wide, as I said, in the art and in the craft of hunting, which I spent much of my life, my real life, devoted to.
I'm curious. I have gained certain knowledge from this blade. He and I are allies. At least I like to think so. Did you come after Olivar?
Come after? What do you mean?
As in, were you a hunter after he was?
Yes. Olivar was a person before my time, yes. He was spoken about in legend. I don't know how far back his legend reaches, but yes, I was. I don't know what year it was, actually, right now, so I can't tell you how far back I was.
It's 2018.
Oh, God.
Sick.
If you did tell him the year, which, say y'all know it, I don't know what the year is, but
it's 2018.
It's been a
We
century.
canonize that.
Is that canonical?
I will say it's canonical. Let's say it's been a century then since the shadows befell this house, and I locked myself away here, never to be seen in the light of day again, never to be the thing that I hunted. But yes,
I apologize, but some of the knowledge that this blade has shared with me is that it was successful in its mission in wiping vampirism out. How is it returned?
he kind of scrunches his face. It's like, that can't be true. There's no way. Well, maybe. And he's thinking, vampirism, in my humble opinion, maybe it's only an opinion, it cannot go extinct. You can slaughter its kind, down to a man, to a woman, to a child, but it can always find its way back. At least that's my understanding of the craft.
Whoa.
That's what the creature, or the blade tells you. The spirit of this person, Olivar, as I believe to be in there. Then that's either what he believes or what may have happened at some point in the past, only for things to change at some point in the future. Interesting.
Cryptic. Are you a vampire?
He looks at
I
you.
turn around, I turn around and like glare at Quilly.
He looks at you and gives you like the exact face of like whenever it zooms in on Jim in the office.
What? I'm just curious.
And he says, "Yes, this curse."
Sorry,
This
didn't
curse.
catch your name. I'm sorry, my friend is insanely rude. However, didn't catch your name.
He kind of he's actually still thinking about what Quilly just said as he kind of like turns and he's like looking at his hands and like kind of the natural claws that have come on his nails now. He says, this curse, yes, I hate it. I hate it so much, but it feels so good. And he's kind of looking at his hands. This curse feels like a blessing. My soul is damned, but... And he starts to like breathe almost, but you know, technically breathe. My soul is damned, but I just can't stop smiling. And he looks at all of you, and he's just got this grin across his face. And he now acknowledges kind of what you asked, Malos. He's like, my name? And he puts his hand to like his chest, and he's like kind of like using his own claws to like dig into his chest, and you see like his skin start to like rip away there. He's like ripping through like kind of his light armor cloak. My name is Morik, and I want this to end as he keeps his hand right over his heart, or where his heart used to be. I am tired of roiling around, even for moments being awakened again within this bloody burden. I want it to end. And he's looking directly at you, Malice, in the eyes.
Can we see if he's given like puppy dog eyes, or what kind of eyes is he giving him?
It's more of like an intense stare.
Okay.
He's asking for
There's the Jim face.
some euthanasia. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to cover Vance's ears and his ears, and we're gonna have a discussion.
Wait, Vance, are you a vampire?
I'm not entertaining a discussion at the moment. I'm only looking at him. I draw Olivar and I say, "Do you want me to end it?" Because I will.
Oh damn, this is real.
He just keeps his eye contact with you, and he slowly just nods, and he keeps his hand. on
Holy
his
shit.
chest.
All right,
And
I plunge
he removes
Olivar into
it,
his chest.
and he pulls his arms out wide and just like is staring right in your eyes as this happens.
They're like from
I
an
do it.
arms, like in the arms of an angel playing, like the PETA song. Is that like happening right now when he spreads his arms?
I give him a tight nod, and out of respect, and I do it.
Okay. So as this sword, it plunges into his chest, his heart, rather easily, and you feel Olivar like kind of ignite with the same energy as you've felt many times before at this point. And his expression doesn't change. His eyes, he doesn't make a sound. His eyes slowly just like fade in like their life, their unlife. And his arms just fall to his side, and he stays standing in the coffin. And it doesn't seem to fall, or the coffin, I guess the sword plunges out back into the coffin as well, but it looks like he's perished in the way that something of his kind would, without a sound.
Wow. Is he bleeding or is it just like
There's no blood.
wow. Well,
I pull Olivar out and I say to him, I did that for you because I know that someone like him and like you would never have wanted to become what they hated. You and I need to have a conversation after we're out of this mansion.
You're saying that to Olivar? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he, in a kind of a different way, it like again feels the will to like slay creatures like that, but it doesn't feed on it and like take pleasure in it the same way, given who this person was, and kind of that doesn't surprise you. But yeah, it acknowledges your sentiment there. It kind of dives back down.
I would really like to leave this place.
yeah.
I'm gonna sheath Olivar.
Yeah, this Manicus family. Not great.
I look at Quilly when he says that, and I'd say I'm not entirely convinced that it's them we should be worried about.
What do you mean?
I mean, unless we've been lied to this entire time, Malice and his coterie here haven't exactly struck me as evil people. And some of the stories which Vance appears to have corroborated seem to lead towards these other families being the ones that we should actually be worried about here.
Oh,
But
wait. That's a good point because everyone we've met's been pretty nice.
that's what I'm trying to say. Now,
It's not
I
entirely
don't know.
true.
I mean, it's not entirely true.
But yeah, y'all remember? I guess there was
Like Barrick attacked us, but he was like fairly damaged. Like the plant guy was really nice. The apothecary was nice. The necromancer was neutral. Malice wasn't exactly nice. The thief was neutral and gave us loot. The priest, however, was not super nice.
The priest was the one I was gonna point out. She was let's say not of sound mind is what y'all's characters would remember, and she summoned a very nasty
Demon thing?
beastie upon you that
Yeah.
tried to drink your blood through tendrils
That was
all
so
throughout his
shitty.
body.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, worse things have happened to us though. Like,
I agree with that. Well, I'm just saying, like it doesn't appear like everything is as it doesn't seem as if everything is as it appears here, and I'm not entirely convinced these people are all evil.
Yeah.
Mirmo would chime in, like hearing this conversation. She obviously heard everything Mork just said, also, and she kind of sighs. She's like kind of like kneeling on her mace, or she's like got her hands across her mace. She's kind of standing herself up, she's looking better after that healing spell she did on herself as well as everybody else that kind of mass healed y'all. She's like, yeah, if y'all, yeah, so we were, me and Grinmus, my partner, who I'm still holding out hope for is okay. But you see kind of in her eyes, there's a deep melancholy regret there. Grinmus was the person that entered, and then
Yeah, he got vamped into another dimension.
yeah, and she kind of shakes her head. She's like, me and Grinmus, we were hired by the Gamma-Navis and Loxus family to do this exorcism upon the house. They are the ones that directed us here, that warned us of the legends, that went out of their way to make sure this house over which this coalescence of strange dark energy above the house currently formed, it was our job to go in and exorcise it, as we have done countless times before as members of the Lumen Lucertius. And I think Gridmus and I might have not done enough due diligence on the Gamma-Navis and Loxus families, but that's not to say that we didn't do any. We did. And there's no, based on what I've learned, and I've experienced the same things y'all have within this house, but based on what I've learned of the lore of those families' histories, the Manicus family's history of 100 years ago plus, and their activity before, it is contrary and contrasting to the stories and anecdotes we've heard within this house. Now, where does my opinion fall on what the truth is? I'm not sure. I fear maybe somewhere in the middle, and this is more difficult to ascertain the truth than we might immediately understand. But yes, what you're saying, Malos, sounds you're on the right track, I think, unfortunately. And given that, our mission here and Grinmus's fate take on a much different light, obviously.
Well, regardless of what happened, we need to get out of here. And I think the only way we're going to be able to do that is to confront Malice eventually. That's the thing, right? The main guy.
Or the front door.
Yeah. She takes out her
Yeah, the
handbook.
front door, we tried that. Didn't work.
She takes out her little handbook, and her she had like mentioned at the beginning, she like gave over some like rules right after Grinmus disappeared, and she was like, we got to stick together, we got to watch out for ghosties, and like she was giving like what y'all remember is very basic like ghost hunting advice, that like she's the expert ghost hunter, but like even y'all kind of knew that. And she pulls out her like booklet again, and she turns to like one of the last pages. She's like, yes, confronting the quote big bad of the house is often how most exorcisms end. That is
How many
very
adventures
true.
have you been on, Mirmo?
Well, I
Curious.
spent most of my life as a cleric, and joining the Lumen Lucertius, relatively recent thing. Last couple years, I've been doing these exorcisms, me and Grinmus, going around, and before you ask, yes, this is by far the most batshit insane exorcism I've ever been on. And nothing has gone right, and what our whole mission was might have been turned upside down, like I just said. So she like kind of takes the book, she closes it, and then she just like throws it against the ground of like this room that y'all are in. She's like, uncharted territory, my good sirs.
Oh,
You can fucking say that again. All right. Well, here, let's figure something out.
ugh. Oh man. Oh man.
So how are y'all gonna proceed?
Go find the next room, I guess.
Yeah,
There's the big bad.
we gotta confront Malice at some point. Should we just try to go back into the last room and?
Malice doesn't save us, but he wants to. Does Mork have any loot on him?
I was gonna say, should we check for loot?
Yeah. So Morik has 2 swords, short sword and a long sword, and his armor just looks like general like light armor. It looks like almost more stylistic than it is like functional. It's not like especially nice armor. He has a nice hat.
Does he have a dope hat? I kind of want the hat.
But yeah, he has his longsword looks, just at first glance, you'd have to like identify it to fully like know what it is, but it looks magical. His short sword doesn't look especially like nice or anything, but it almost like just a passive insight. You can it's like he was buried in like his best, you know, look. It's not necessarily like this was like a funeral style. He dressed himself or someone dressed him for like, you know, the long passage of death. Like they do funerals where they dress people in like a suit. So it's almost like he was dressed like really slavishly given that context. That's why maybe the short sword looks like it's more showy than it is like functional. The long sword looks magical. So if you're going to take something, that'd probably be the most worthy functional item, not including style items.
Cool, you want that sword?
The long sword?
That's your hex blade?
Yeah, they're pretty dope actually. I'll grab it if you don't mind.
Yeah. I got magic weapons so far. You go ahead.
I'll take the long sword and examine it. Or wait, I have to do something special, right? I can't just like look at it and figure it out. Or I don't know how that works.
Alice has to investigate with his special allies.
No,
I gotta take it to someone.
I can't identify anything. We'd have
Sure.
to go get it identified by someone.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks.
The only reason
like...
I figured that dagger out was because that one dude knew what it did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll add it. What's this guy's name again?
Moric.
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 Okay.
And
No one's taking his hat.
You can have that if you want.
It's gonna kind of ruin that.
It's a nice looking hat. Darian, it's not Darian's style, but surprised.
as Mirmo sees y'all like kind of just like rooting around on his body and like looting him, she's like, she like kind of does like an exact rendition of the Larry David like deciding face. She's like, it's probably what he would have wanted. And she's like ambiguous with that. She's like,
Interesting. Well, we'll use it to help him achieve his goals that he couldn't achieve. To kill the vampires, I guess.
We gotta get the last hit with this this hat.
So who's taking the hat? I guess y'all just mark down whatever you're taking.
Hat's in my bag already.
Okay.
I marked down the long sword. If someone wants the short sword, they can take it.
Melis isn't in diluting this guy. He doesn't care that you guys are
You just
getting
killed him, man.
So.
Yeah.
And then kind of as like whoever walks out first would notice that the door to the north is open, and you can see a hallway where moonlight is streaming in. The beginning of a hallway.
Like here?
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay. So how are y'all proceeding?
Going through the door.
They're running
Down the hallway.
Let's sprint through the door. Malice rushes in.
Malice rushes in. Okay. So in this hallway, it's just a normal hallway. It's a hallway with
I
three
jump over
windows.
the trap.
3 windows. There's moonlight streaming in, and you kind of look out the windows. If you were to look out the windows, you see very similar to what you saw in the backyard, with the kind of bluish, like water, but also not like water. It's like blue, like mercury type liquid. If you remember correctly, it's kind of like it's liquid, but it like runs through your hands like mercury. You see that kind of like ocean with like a big blue astral starscape and a blue like moon over the water, and it's just kind of stretching on as far as the horizon goes. And so that light is what's emanating in to the hallway. And then on the left side, you see 4 paintings, and each painting is depicting kind of in great detail various pictures of pretty grotesque creatures, humanoid and non-humanoid, kind of being birthed in a way. And the first one is it's the most simplistic, and it's just a creature fully emerging from a grave. There's like clearly a tomb, the earth where presumably a creature was buried, and then you see a creature like crashing out of it and kind of lunging towards the perspective of the painting. The second one is of a kind of towering, almost giant-like figure standing over an army of smaller, devilish, black-looking little, almost look like imps or demons of some kind. And then the third picture is from the perspective of like a king with a kind of a scepter, like a regal item that a king would have for like style over function, and he's overseeing a kind of like a vast army as far as the horizons goes of what you saw in the previous painting, a kind of like giant, like emaciated, rotting creature, but like giant sized, and they are just stretching like soldiers, standing at the ready at this king's attention. And then in the final painting it's just a hand, and the hand is like old, decrepit. It's like practically bone, but there's a little bit of flesh left, and it's holding an orb, and the orb is kind of both, it's grayish, but it's both black and white, and it's kind of like this coalescence. And you see kind of like artistically in the background, you see two yellow glowing eyes in the background, kind of as if that is the creature's eyes that's holding this ball. And yeah, those are the four paintings you see as you walk along this hallway towards a door at the other end. Yeah, that's what you see.
Do these pictures have titles?
Not that you can see, no. They're just kind of it's the art itself, and it's framed, and it's kind of like regally positioned. There's some like cobwebs, there's some wear and tear on the wall in between, but the paintings are pretty well preserved, and they're all bathed in this light.
The light
Like-
from outdoors, right?
Yes, yeah, from the windows. And you do notice as you were kind of walking through the hall, like inspecting both the windows and the paintings, that this hallway is a lot cooler than the rest of the house has been. You've noticed that this is a little chilly. It's almost like there's a breeze in this hallway, but you can't really tell where it's coming from.
Are they in the same style as the paintings in the front room? Can I recall?
I would say you would know that there was one painting of like a vampiric orgy,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a painting of the Manicus family, kind of like a idyllic picture of all of them like smiling in a group picture. And then there was another painting of, it was a picture, I'm trying to think of what it was. It was like from the perspective of like a giant, almost demonic type figure. And you would out of those three, the last one I just said would line up style-wise with these very closely.
Oh, okay. Was that the king one? Is that what you?
I
what was
mean,
that
I
one
can
again?
find
No,
the
it's fine.
exact description. I don't remember what exactly it was.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Do you guys want to just keep going, or do you want to look at these more?
I guess further down the hallway, there's a door, right?
Yep.
It's probably locked. It probably has something to do with the paintings, so we can go
You know
try
what
the
they say
door.
about-
but
You know what they say about making assumptions, Darian? I try to do it.
The door opens.
oh shit!
I turn around and Jim Halpert face him. And then I put my hand on the fourth painting.
Yeah, so whenever you touch the painting, you feel like the cool kind of after effect of what paint feels like on a canvas. And this thing looks uncovered, and you are just you're actually smearing what looks like an old painting. You touched it right where the orb is, and the orb drawing kind of like smears a little bit as your hand just sits there, and like your hand's still covered in like sweat and blood and just the dirt of your like life over the last couple hours. But yeah, you feel that
Shit.
paint.
Malice members starting Malice, and then continues there, continues through the next door.
Okay. So this next door, you see, as y'all open up, it opens up into. Y'all saw this from the outside. There was kind of like a raised like tower that was like cylindrical and like looks like it went to like up to the, I guess, second story of this two-story house. And y'all walk in and y'all see a small like little room that looks like it's just dedicated to stairwells. There's a figure in the center of the room that looks like this, and it is a dragon-like statue, and it's in one hand it's holding an orb that is just part of the statue, it looks like, and then in the other hand it's holding what
pizza.
looks like a brazier of like fire that's actually burning a little bit. There's cinders you see coming off, And you see seated on top of the statue of this dragon a black cat. And it looks like a real black cat. It's not part of the statue. And it turns and looks at you, but doesn't move as y'all step in.
Meow.
Meow.
Who's not holding a pizza?
Damn it.
Pizza. No. So their stairwell goes up, and this stairwell goes down. And y'all can roll me a...
Can we go up the down stairwell?
You'll roll me a religion check in general as you walk in and sight this figure.
So, check? I'm just going to roll normal, because I have advantage on religion checks. I don't know if that's a disadvantage.
I would say you get advantage on it.
Ooh. It's nice.
Pretty solid.
Nobody's rolling that well.
No
No.
out of the parks.
Yeah. You don't know anything.
Arian's not used to having advantage. He doesn't know how to take advantage of advantage.
Well,
Yeah. Sirocco and Darian, this looks like a artful depiction of a dragon-like figure.
I just see a lizard when I look at it. I'm like,
It's
oh,
a
a
turtle.
reptile. Nice. Is that a turtle, guys? What is that?
The turtle, yes.
Oh, wow.
Let's keep going.
But
How
it
interesting.
is so it's dragon-like, but it has almost like it has wings, it has dragon face, dragon-like scales and armor. Arms, but it has like an almost humanoid body. It's like standing on like two legs, bipedal.
Is there any like cinders in the like bowl that's like flaming?
Yeah, it's like it has. It looks like it's just burning something. There's blackened material in there, and it's not a very large or tall flame, but it is burning.
I cast produce flame in my hand and try to like catch the fire in the dragon's bowl like more on fire.
Okay, so you're gonna
If
try to
that's
like
possible.
stoke the flame, so to speak.
Yeah, kind of like stoke the flame.
Yeah. So you're able to produce a flame, send it in there, and like it hits the material that's already in there, and you see it like kind of spark up, and like the flame rises for a second, and then returns to like a slightly more robust burn.
Okay.
And then y'all could roll me a perception check as something you see start to plummet from above.
oh good.
You notice.
Oh yeah.
You notice that. So the stairwell leading up, it spirals a little bit, and then it goes kind of into darkness. You can't really see where the stairs fully go. And you see a white figure just appear from the darkness, about the size of a cat. And then Sirocco, Quilly, and Malice, you all see it is a white cat, and it lands directly into the fire. And then it kind of like does a cat youch sound and jumps out and runs down, like lands on its feet, kind of shakes its body, doesn't appear to be set on fire, and then runs down the stairwell. And then you see the black cat, kind of at the same moment, scared by another cat, jumping down, and then it jumps directly from the dragon statue's head onto the up stairwell and runs up as fast as it can out of sight.
Huh. Did the cats look like actual animals, or were they like apparition-esque?
With those perceptions, they look like cats. There's a stark white cat and a black cat. And
Okay.
They didn't have like glowing eyes. They weren't like emanating like energy to make it seem arcane. Like y'all have experienced like familiars, like wizardly familiars, and like it didn't. Wizardly familiars already kind of look realistic, and it didn't look like that necessarily.
Interesting. What's the symbolism here? So black goes up, white goes down. Where should we go, boys?
So yeah, there's a stairwell going up. There's a stairwell going down. Y'all haven't been on the second story of this building. You haven't seen stairs. Oh, there was the stairs on that side passage where Sirocco stared at a mirror and got like transfixed.
Oh yeah.
But y'all haven't gone upstairs like in the house. And then downstairs, there's a basement to where it was like the quarters of what looked like they had goblin like kind of like servants, butlers as part of the house, and you saw like kind of flashback images of what things were like when the goblins were there, and then they went away and turned decrepit again, and then you had what looked like goblinoid spirits attack you down in the basement. So you do know if there's stairs down in the house, like probably lead to the basement. You're not certain of that unless you went down, but you have been in the basement of the house.
We can go upstairs. You guys want.
And
If you
then
go
there
black,
is-
you never go back.
and
That's
then
all we
there
gotta know.
is A window here leading out to the same outside, and then there is a door right here leading somewhere.
Wait, there's a door here as well?
Yep.
Or
Yeah, that's another door.
do you guys want to continue, or are we calling it?
Let's. I don't know. It's up to Alex.
Do you want to get to the next situation and introduce it? Leave us on a cliffhanger?
Tee it up. I
Yep.
see. I like teeing it up, but y'all say y'all don't like teeing it up because then I have to describe it twice.
Well, we have to decide if we're going up or down the stairs,
Right.
right?
Right.
Or out the door, or out the back door.
Or okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say we could go up. I mean, we haven't been upstairs. That's Dylan's point, which is, I think, valid.
Let's go up.
All right.
Okay, so
Up
who's
it
the
is.
first person on the stairs going up?
Oh God.
I'll go.
Okay.
Since I live
Oh
I'll give you that lip. So, as you like walk up the stairs, like you can kind of eye and tell like how far it's going to take to get to the second floor. Like it's like a couple spirals, like 1.5 even. And as you walk up the stairs, it gets darker and darker, and like the fire from below that's in the brazier in the dragon's hand gets like more and more dim until it's like literally pitch dark. And I guess who of y'all would have dark vision?
I have dark vision. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, your dark vision, it actually fails you in a way to where this feels like magical darkness. Like you've
Ooh.
had the darkness spell cast on you before, like you've seen its effects, and this is darkness
Advanced
that
darkness.
like is advanced.
Advanced
It's
darkness.
highly advanced darkness. And as you're walking up, you're realizing like you're making the round of the spiral repeatedly,
Oh,
and you're
fuck.
not getting to another like door or passageway, and you can't see very well. And at a certain point, the light fades away altogether, and it's just pitch dark.
So it's like the Mario stairs.
Yeah, we gotta
the
go
initial
back
thing to
down.
Bowser.
Or you can glitch jump up above the door.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
up-
Quilly Trek. Let's jump. Just jump
So
through
You
the
just
wall.
gotta turn around and you gotta
Miles
butt bust
crouches,
backwards up
or no,
the stairs.
Billy crouches and then just like butt bumps back and just
Yeah.
just machine guns up the stairs. And there it is. It's the end of the game. You fucking won. You won D&D.
Found the parallel universe.
It's funny.
We go back
Nice.
down the stairs to get
All right, yeah,
Well-
let's go back.
the key.
Malice is at the bottom of the stairs. It's like, I knew that was an endless staircase.
Of course.
Roll deception. Everybody else roll insight. No.
Perception or deception?
Deception.
Oh,
Everybody else
deception.
roll insight.
I see through his lies.
Just a little bit.
Whoa.
Really,
Like,
dude?
bullshit. No way you could have known that.
Calling you, Will. Oh, is this it?
Well, he did roll. He rolled deception and not insight.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah.
I re-deceived you.
I didn't even notice that.
I say, no, there was a ton of cool shit up there, Will. What are you
Yeah,
talking
and
about?
Will's like, wait, what, really?
Malice, what are you talking about? There's a ton of cool stuff. You should go check it out. I try to convince Malice to go up.
The infinite like backward jump. So funny.
I'm watching this Mario video as well.
That's fucking stressful. Even watching it now, like the music and just like running up that staircase, it stresses me out. Because as a kid, it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. No.
It brings me back to a bad place.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Turn it off.
Wait, what the fuck is he doing?
Just wait.
Skip endless skip? This is so creepy.
That music is ominous. That music is fucking fun. I don't like it. It's too fast and it like increases.
Oh, this is crazy.
All right. So we're going down the down staircase.
We're going up the downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Up the downstairs.
Is
I
Quilly
can-
gone? Like, did we see him go up these stairs and he just thinks he's like going up, or we lost sight of him?
You lose sight of him.
Oh shit.
Oh wait. Quilly didn't come back down. I missed that.
Well, he's like walking up and it's just kind of like an endless stairscape. And then if you wanted to like turn back, then we could go through that. But
But I guess we all said that we followed because like
Yeah.
we were all like, okay, we're going upstairs, so we'll walk for a while.
so yeah, you see it get darker and darker. Y'all are all walking together, and it's what I described. And then you could make a decision.
It's
from
advanced darkness. We can't produce flame and see anything, so we'll be like, okay, let's turn around. So we go
there. Yeah.
down.
It's like you can produce a flame or light or something, but it's like when you try to stare at your hand in pitch darkness, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not there.
So yeah, we go back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then what do y'all proceeding.
Run all the way down the stairs.
Yeah, let's do a
Skipping
like
steps.
shield slide down the stairs.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah, let's go back. Can we get back? What happens when we go back?
Yeah, so as y'all walk down the stairs, it's kind of like it happened sooner than you walked up. Like you probably walked up like 4 different spirals, and you walk down like 2, and you already see the flame again, and you see the bottom, and you're able to like walk out of the advanced darkness and back to the base of the stairwell.
Cool.
Okay, down. Let's go.
Yep.
So y'all going down the stairwell? Okay.
As we go, I want to say, here, kitty, kitty.
So that would bring y'all, if you direct your attention over to the basement, you appear coming down this stairwell right here.
Oh, okay.
So you come
Right.
down and it's like,
Are there all those fucking
The gobos?
shit still down there?
Can we go back to the sauna?
Ooh.
so yeah, it's all kind of, as y'all like start to walk down, you see it's lit up for like a second, and then it's like once you get to a certain rung of the stairwell and like you just like blink, and like when you blink, it's dark again, and you see the white cat in the middle of this symbol, and you see once the darkness returns, the little Gobogasti's back.
Oh,
And you're all
man.
facing the cat. And then you see the cat kind of like hair on its back stand up, and it screeches and darts away, and then you see all 4 of these little spirit gobos chase after it into the darkness of the surrounding area, which you've been to most of.
Interesting. Should we try to follow the cat or just chill?
Wait. What showed up? Are blood gas showing up, or are the gobos showing up?
Well, if you remember correctly, you saw when the lights were on in this place, you saw little apparitions of gobos going about their like day, like some were in the spa, some were in the dojo
Yeah.
sparring, some were like having tea
Oh, yeah.
and drinking tea and like having conversations, sitting in like comfortable chairs. Some were going upstairs to like with like trays of food. Some were eating in the dining hall. And then whenever the lights went out, you were attacked by these spirit-looking creatures that were like red and black. They look like Bloodghast, and you can tell kind of from their features and their motions that they are the goblins in Unlife. It wouldn't be a hard conclusion to draw.
Okay, I think I recall that now.
But they kind of fade in and out of existence. Like you could vanquish them, and then they would like reapparate very quickly.
Yeah.
Like they were not strong. They didn't do very much damage to you whenever they attacked you, but they could like hurt you. And you notice like after you killed them, like not long after later, they would like just reform. And then I think y'all fled.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Like, we couldn't really attack them. They would just, like, disappear.
Yeah, they phase. Okay, so
I don't know. Should we try to follow it or just, like, go out the other door from upstairs? To me, those are my options. Those are the options. Is we go back upstairs and go back out the door from this room, or fuck around in the basement more, I guess.
yeah, let's go try the door. I don't know. That's my opinion. What else? What do y'all think? I don't have to fight these phase beasts.
Yeah. I'm fine going and checking the door this time.
It'll be a quick it's locked, and then we can move on.
Yeah, we can just check the door and then call it a night, or is that
Yeah,
what you mean? Or-
so y'all went back up and tried to open the door. It's a wooden normal door similar to the ones you've gone through before. It does open.
Oh shit.
And then there's another door, and this is large and in charge. No, it's large and it's a stone door, and it has the symbol of. Y'all could roll me. The symbol looks like a skull, but it's like stylized in a way that's not just like a swamp on like a magic card. It has kind of like sharpened teeth, and its eyes are more slanted. I guess it looks like the Punisher symbol now. I don't know. No, just roll a religion check or a history to know what that means. But just for the knowledge of that. But then as you step through this door you just opened and like step towards this stone one, it immediately starts to like some dust comes off, and you see it start to shake, and it's like. And it starts to lower down into the floor, and you see into a rather large room And Malos and Sirocco, you both see this symbol and you think of a figure of mythological importance known as, I guess I don't know how to pronounce that. Charon, Charon, the keeper of the river in hell, Styx.
Oh yeah.
Is the keeper of the passage of souls into the underworld. That is that god's or mythological figure's symbol. As this stone passageway lowers down, and you see into this next room, and just teeing it up and revealing what you see, there's an apparition of, I think I copied Sirocco's character accidentally, and he was like in this room for some reason. Nope, y'all see Sirocco. He's crucified.
Sirocco's the big bad.
You see,
God.
you see Sirocco's crucified, and
Surprise.
he looks at Sirocco as Sirocco walks in, and then y'all Sirocco turns into a like giant monster. No, dang, I should have thought of that. Fuck, it's too late now. So yeah, this should all be GM layered. Y'all see a room with stuff. So it's a huge room. You see 8 pillars throughout it. It's lit up by some candlelight, and the candlelight is a variety of colors. Red, green, blue, yellow, orange. And then you also see like 6 prominent statues.
Holy shit.
And in the center of the room, there's some like central dais
Oh,
that
God.
you can see. So yeah, this is what you see, and we'll find out next time. What
On
this-
Dragon Ball
Oh.
Z. Sure.
next time on Into Fate.
Damn, this looks sick.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of fast motion like images of y'all. It's like from past episodes, and then it's like turns, and it's like Danny, and then it turns, and it's like. There's like one where like Malice and Sirocco are like high five, like. Hang on.
There's one of them
The
like
theme
doing
song is
the,
just the
the
Kill la
swim
Kill song?
race.
Yeah. It's exactly that. I need to get the Kill la Kill music in here. Oh, my precious music. I'm
Lose
so
your
bummed out.
way.
Don't lose your way. But I will, this last tease, I will say, as y'all walk in, you hear a song on the lips of a familiar
Fucking back.
figure. Familiar figure in the center of the room. He's sitting on that dais and he's playing his little lute and he's singing. Home. And y'all are gonna hear that verse next time. So
Wait.
I want to
Did we-
play again.
Did we try the door on the other side? Was it locked when we went over there?
I
Did we
don't-
fucking run around the entire boss room?
I
No, it
think
was locked.
y'all-
It was like a steel
locked?
gate.
Okay.
It was a steel like gate, and it was darkened inside, to where you could see inside. You could see like figures, but you couldn't see very much. You didn't see any light at all from that perspective. Like this,
Okay.
seeing it in this way, you can see light and everything's lit up. But yeah,
Damn.
Damn.
Okay.
That's
Well, we're
sick.
gonna wish we got the white cat to help us in this, but it's alright.
Yeah, I don't have any spell slots left.
We're fucked here, boys.
yeah. Mirmo, she's like, okay. She like hits her mace in her hand, and she's like, I don't got any spell slots left either, guys. I've got like 2, but that's
All right.
We got to make them count. It's fine. It's fine. I'm ready.
All right, boys. This is sick.
If
Should
it's-
play again next
I
weekend.
don't even know if it's the boss fight. I guess we'll find out next time.
That's true.
Yeah, who knows? We don't know what the hell's gonna happen in the spooky man.
There's a lot of
that we'll never get to
territory
believe.
still.
There's a lot of
Damn.
what?
There's a lot of unexplored territory, so I'm just using that to think that we still got a lot to go, potentially. We'll see.
Is there a lot of unexplored territory?
This seems like the whole house if you zoom all the way out.
Well, I mean, it's just more black.
Oh, that's true.
Dylan blacked out the top, which is already a room. I don't know what this top right corner is going to be.
Oh,
if
yeah.
Anything, but
That's going to be phase 2 and 3 of the boss fight when he
there's
transports us
some,
to a
there's
different
some
realm.
staircases in this room.
Oh, that's true. There are
Yeah,
staircases.
when Malice goes Sephiroth on us. And
Yeah,
he's in his
okay.
final form.
Alright, well, we're ruining it for Dylan. Dylan's like, fuck, they already know. He's going to have to rewrite all of this.
It's like when the people, the fans of Lost realized it was purgatory, and so they rewrote it.
No, I enjoy the speculation.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Yeah, you can read about it. We're gonna have a Reddit thread about it.
Get it
Just
up in
post
the
a bunch of
wiki.
ideas.
Yeah.
Post it in the wiki.
Hmm
Actually,
That'd be
there was
sweet.
something I looked into called World Anvil.
I'm gonna read the Reddit and get the actually good fan theories.
All right.
Probably
Nice
should
work,
take a
boys.
short rest.
Y'all gonna come in and sit down in the middle of this room in short rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's like, hey Mouse, can you just give us like a hot sec?
Hey, now,
It's been forever since we rested.
can we take a quick nap?
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
I'm
Malice
thinking-
starts talking
I'm
and
thinking of
singing.
that,
You're like, I'm gonna let you finish in a second, Chief. But
I'm thinking
We
of
take
that
a
like
quick
meme I
snooze.
posted like a long time ago, where it's like a guy sleeping on the couch that's like starting to burn, and it's just like my player sleeping inside the dungeon or trying to long rest inside the
Oh
dungeon.
yeah.
And then the fire is like the natural consequences of their actions or everything.
I want closure. I want out of this house.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
If one could say this has been a hell of a house.
Ha.
Yep.
You have
been
that
a
written
hell of a
down in
ride.
your notes to say.
Nope. I didn't have that written down. You can insight check me.
Inside joke.
I'm not gonna believe you either way.
that's gonna be something. Malice's last words are gonna be some sort of like pun. Like, did y'all like something about Hell House or something? We'll see.
Ooh, I could see that.
He's gonna rewrite it again now,
I
though.
plan on dying with a quip on my lips. Don't you worry.
As is tradition.
No. Mal, the other.
Oh, Malice.
Yeah.
I thought you said Malice.
No, it's Malice, right? It's Malice and Malos.
Yeah.
Malus. Okay, us.
Less.
Yeah.
Sweet.